What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 9, Episode 13, the Shaeeda and Bilal edition. So, Shaeeda and Bilal are having a picnic. I don't know why. They always try to do these very romantic things, and it always ends up turning into an argument. So Shaeeda tells Bilal that the ex-wife had come over to the house and that, she welcomed her with open arms. She had no problem meeting up with the ex, but it looked like the ex had come there with an agenda. So she tells Bilal that, she felt very bullied and intimidated by his ex-wife, and that, she was talking with a lot of like anger in her voice, talking about how, she's there to protect her children. And Shaeeda was like, I totally understood that, you were trying to protect your children and their future and their assets. And I have no issue with that. But she was coming at me like, I'm just here to try to take all of your money. And Bilal did not seem sympathetic towards Shaeeda at all. In fact, Bilal acted like he was surprised that his ex-wife even acted like that. And I don't understand, Bilal, why you were surprised, because at the beginning of the season, your ex-wife approached you and told you that you needed to get a prenuptial agreement, that she was worried about her children's future. So I don't understand why you act surprised. And then he says that every time that his ex-wife has talked to him about Shaeeda, she's always talked about Shaeeda in very positive terms. And I'm like, well, when did this happen? Because it hasn't been caught on camera. Even when the two women met at the Juma, the ex-wife sort of, I felt like she was a little bit abrupt and cold towards Shaeeda. She wasn't warm. She wasn't welcoming. It was none of that. So the ex-wife has always seemed a little bit standoffish towards Shaeeda since day one. So I don't know why Bilal was surprised. So once again, at the picnic, Bilal brings up the prenuptial agreement. He tries to let her know that, marriages are contracts, and, we signed into a contract whenever we signed for the license, trying to make her feel better about signing a prenuptial agreement. And she still is not too keen about it. And I was just upset that Bilal had no sympathy towards Shaeeda at all with how the ex-wife treated her. Moving on from there. So now they are at home and he brings her the prenuptial agreement. She reads it over and she says, well, this is definitely favoring you over me because it's favoring the more moneyed spouse. And I think what the prenup said, according to Shaeeda, was that if anything should happen and the marriage ends, he leaves with whatever he came in with, and whatever that she brings, whatever she accumulates in the marriage is going to be community property, and they're going to split that. And it just seemed like, okay, so you take with what you came in with, and whatever she accumulates is shared between the two of you. But what about what you accumulate? Does that share between the two of you as well? Like, I didn't understand. Either way, the prenuptial agreement is most likely in Bilal's favor because he's the one writing it up, him and his attorney. So, of course, he's going to, be the one that everything's going to favor him. And so then he tells her, oh, and then she also says, so basically, if I don't work hard to create anything for myself, I will get absolutely nothing, regardless if we're married, 1 year or 25 years. So she doesn't have the option. For example, if she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, she doesn't even have that option, because if she doesn't create her own income or create her own wealth, she will leave with absolutely nothing. She will leave this marriage with absolutely nothing. And so then Bilal says to her, well, do you plan on cheating on me? She says, no. Do you plan on divorcing me? She says, no. And he's like, well, then what do you have to worry about? The prenup only goes into effect if, I guess, she cheats on him, or if she's the one that files for the divorce first, if she ends the marriage first. Either way, we all know the prenup is going to be in his favor because he's, really worried about her walking away with all of his money if the marriage ends. And my only thing is, Shaeeda, get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Get someone who can look at this prenuptial agreement for you, hopefully pro bono, because if he has to pay for the lawyer, he's probably going to choose a lawyer that's still going to, be in his favor. So, Shaeeda, please get an attorney, or don't sign it and go back to Trinidad and drop this whole circus. Just drop it all and go back home. If you want to stay and you want to marry this man, I implore you, Shaeeda, to please get an attorney that of your choosing to read over this and, you know, make sure that your interest is covered. Make sure that, you get something out of this, regardless of whoever ends the marriage first. Because if you work hard to build something with this man, you should be able to get your fair share, whatever that fair share is. But the way that it's written, it seems like obviously it's favoring Bilal over Shaeeda, which is really not fair. So Shaeeda, please go ahead and get an attorney and make sure that your interest is covered. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Um, in her confessional, Shaeeda also talks about how she feels like she has to pay the price for the mistakes that Bilal made in his previous marriage. Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's how it is. Yes, you do. And then what's really funny to me is that, okay, anybody can sign a prenup, regardless of how wealthy you are. But Bilal, you're making such a big deal about your wealth, but it's not like you are a multimillionaire. It's not like you're living in a sprawling mansion with, a 10-car garage, swimming pool, basketball court, tennis court, movie room. It's not like you are, the Donald Trump of real estate. Okay, you're doing fairly well for yourself, and I'm pretty sure at the most you're probably upper middle class. And I understand whatever you have, you worked really hard for and you want to protect it. But this whole, like, we're watching Dynasty or something with this prenuptial agreement. Come on now. I mean, just whatever. I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than, Shaeeda, please get an attorney and make sure that your interest is protected. That is my review of Bilal and Shaeeda. Thank you so much for joining me. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.